Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. As people moved eastward, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other." So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth. The Lord had said to Abram, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you I will curse, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." So Abram went, as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. So Abram went up from Egypt to the Negev, with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and silver and gold. From the Negev he went from place to place until he came to Bethel, to the place between Bethel and Ai, where he had set up his tent previously and where he had first built an altar. There Abram called on the name of the Lord. Now Lot, who was moving about with Abram, also had flocks, herds, and tents. But the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. And quarreling arose between Abram's herders and Lot's. So Abram said to Lot, "Let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herders and mine, for we are close relatives. Is not the whole land before you? Let's part company. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left." Lot looked around and saw that the plain of the Jordan was well watered everywhere, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of the Jordan and set out toward the east. Then Abram settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the cities of the plain and pitched his tents near Sodom. In the days of Amraphel king of Shinar, Arioch king of Elasar, Chedorlaomer king of Elam, and Tidal king of Goim, these kings went to war against Bera king of Sodom, Bersha king of Gomorrah, Shinab king of Admah, Shemeber king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is, Zoar. After 12 years, all the kings went to war. In the 14th year, Chedorlaomer and the kings allied with him went out and defeated the Rephaim in Ashtaroth Karnaim, the Zuzites in Ham, the Emites in Shaveh Kiriathaim, and the Horites in their hill country of Seir, as far as El Paran near the desert. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela went out and joined forces in the valley of Siddim. The valley of Siddim was full of tar pits, and as the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some fell into them, and the rest fled to the hills. The 4 kings captured Lot and his possessions because he was living in Sodom. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. He divided his forces against them by night, attacked them, and defeated them, pursuing them to Hobah, north of Damascus. After Abram returned from defeating Chedorlaomer and the kings allied with him, the king of Sodom went out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh. Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High and blessed Abram, saying, "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth." After this, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." But Abram said, "Sovereign Lord, what can you give me since I remain childless?" God took him outside and said, "Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them." Then he said to him, "So shall your offspring be." Abram believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. God also made a covenant with Abram, promising the land to his descendants. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children. She said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go, sleep with my servant. Perhaps I can build a family through her." So after Abram had been living in Canaan 10 years, Sarai, his wife, took her Egyptian servant, Hagar, and gave her to her husband to be his wife. Hagar conceived, and when she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. Sarai said to Abram, "You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering." Abram told Sarai, "Your servant is in your hands. Do with her whatever you think best." Then the angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert and said, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her." The angel added, "I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count." She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her, "You are the God who sees me." Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram gave him the name Ishmael. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am God Almighty. Walk before me faithfully and be blameless. I will confirm my covenant between me and you, and will greatly increase your numbers." Abram fell face down, and God said to him, "As for me, this is my covenant with you. You will be the father of many nations. No longer will you be called Abram. Your name will be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants after you for the generations to come, to be your God and the God of your descendants after you. You are to undergo circumcision, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and you. As for Sarai, your wife, you are no longer to call her Sarai. Her name will be Sarah. I will bless her and will surely give you a son by her. I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of peoples will come from her." The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre while he was sitting at the entrance to his tent in the heat of the day. 3 men appeared to him, and Abraham ran to meet them. He bowed low to the ground and said, "If I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, do not pass your servant by." One of them said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son." Sarah laughed to herself, saying, "After I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I now have this pleasure?" The Lord said, "Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son." Then Abraham interceded for Sodom, asking God, "Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous people in the city. Will you really sweep it away?" God agreed not to destroy the city if 50 righteous were found. The 2 angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. Lot invited them into his house to stay the night. The men of Sodom surrounded the house, demanding Lot bring out his guests. The angels struck the men with blindness, and Lot was warned, "Flee for your life. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away." Lot hesitated, but the angels took hold of his hand and the hands of his wife and 2 daughters and led them safely out of the city. When they reached safety, Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Now Abraham moved on from there into the region of the Negev and lived between Kadesh and Shur. He said of his wife Sarah, "She is my sister." Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent for Sarah and took her. But God came to Abimelech in a dream and said, "You are as good as dead because of the woman you have taken. She is a married woman." Abimelech had not gone near her, so he said, "Lord, will you destroy an innocent nation?" God said to him in the dream, "Yes, I know you did this with a clear conscience, and so I kept you from sinning against me. Therefore I did not let you touch her." Abimelech restored Sarah to Abraham and gave him sheep, cattle, and servants as a gift. Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female slaves so they could have children again. This concludes Genesis chapters 11 through 20. We have read about the Tower of Babel, Abraham and Sarah, God's covenant, and Lot's escape from Sodom. As you listen, notice God's faithfulness, human choices, and the unfolding of his plan. May these passages encourage you to trust in God's promises and obey him faithfully.